Hi there. My name is Aoi Arashi, and welcome to my stream. Today's stream is the most evil experiments in history. I know that there's a bit of a difference. I'm sorry about the mashup. I was just, listening to. Um, this is my first time streaming, and I'm pretty confused about everything. So I wanted to get the introduction right, but screw that. No intros. It doesn't work for me, alright? Intros just don't work. I don't know how to introduce myself. My name is Aoi Arashi14X. You can call me Aoi. And yeah, I'm streaming both on Twitch and YouTube right now. So both the chats are integrated into that one chat. So well, if you're on Twitch or YouTube, I think either options would work because this is a content focused stream and not a gaming focused stream right now. So I hope that you guys understand that I want to kind of broaden my reach because on Twitch I can't really do content, and on YouTube I'm not much of a gamer, but I do want to do gaming content too. But on YouTube I just want to keep things clean and stuff. Therefore I have planned on separating my streams into two segments where I will be one, I will be gaming, and two, I will be content creating. So this is a content creation stream, and all my streams will be live on Twitch, while some of my gaming streams will not be live on YouTube. So that's how it's gonna go. Anyways, enough about that. So, well, I don't really want to jump right into the topic. I think it would be appropriate to jump right into the topic, but right now I just want to, introduce myself and talk about things because, yeah, well, a lot of things are complicated, right? Everything's complicated. Life is complicated, and my setup is complicated, and there's a lot of restrictions on my part, like the games I play and the content that I do. I have classes and stuff, so I'm limited to the only reason I'm streaming mainly is because I love streaming. I love being a VTuber. And I've been I started as a VTuber last year, I think last year or before that, I can't remember properly, but like I was a voice actor. So I started as a voice actor. I did Japanese voice acting. So if you're interested, you could check my Instagram account. I've probably linked it in my profiles. So you could check that out. And if you're on YouTube, I've linked in it on the description too. So you could check that out, my profile on Instagram. And you can see that there's a whole bunch of VA scripts and stuff like that on Insta where I loved VA for a very long time. I think I did it for about 2 years or more. So I've been doing it for a very long time, and I really appreciate that, getting into voice acting and then moving into VTubing along with that, because I met a really nice community along the way. And this is like a stream I'm doing after, I can't remember, like after about a year, because I went on a freaking long hiatus for about a year because I had, I had to do some self-care because I have ADHD, and suddenly my whole life kind of came collapsing all of a sudden. Therefore I couldn't keep up with things. But right now I've kind of got it all together, and more than anything, I've got a proper internet connection, which I am very, very grateful for. So Mobitel, thank you very much. ありがとうございました。Istuti. Seriously, Mobitel is the one I'm grateful for at this point because that is the only service in Sri Lanka. I'm a Sri Lankan, by the way. So that is literally the only service in Sri Lanka that's actually giving me a proper connection right now. Because I tried a lot. I tried Dialogue, I tried Hutch, none of them worked. So right now, I am very, very grateful for Mobitel for actually being, allowing me to stream like this. I am so grateful for that. Well, enough of my praising to Mobitel. Everyone knows that Mobitel is great. If you're a Sri Lankan, that is. So yeah. I don't really want to talk about the prevailing situation in Sri Lanka right now. I mean, there's the stuff going on, but I think it's better if I avoid that at the moment. But if you're curious about it, just you could search things up. Hey, Vixie, it's been lost so long. How you doing? It's been such a long time. I can't remember the last time I talked to you. Oh my gosh. Thank you for joining in, by the way. Really, really appreciate it. I know it has. I'm finally able to stream properly though. Like, I am excited. I'm freaking excited about this because I finally got a proper connection. That's what I was saying. I'm grateful for Mobisal. I know. Yeah, I changed a bit. I changed. Yeah, all pretty. All pretty and polished up, you know. I mean, I changed a bit because I don't want to use the old model and stuff. I know it was a Viroid model, but like, I thought why not just do a PNG thing for now? So how's everything been? I mean, I've been out for so long that I haven't even checked people's streams. So honestly, so how's everything been going? It's been such a long time, you know? I was like I had a bit going on during that time, so I had to drop out all of a sudden, and I'm finally back, I guess. Oh yeah, okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, like that's the thing. I checked your streams once in a while, but like the last WODs were like a long time ago, so yeah, honestly, a lot's happened. Like the past year was like I know, like it's been so crazy. Yeah, we good and alive. So how are things in your area? Like I'm not sure where you're living, but are you safe and stuff? Because like there's been so much going on. Like the place I'm staying is like our place is okay, but the places around us are completely wrecked. Like there's been floods. Like there's been like beds are literally stuck to the roof at this point in houses. Like it's so bad. Yeah, we good and alive, so that's all that matters, I guess. Okay, that's good. That's good. Honestly, it's been so long, you know. Yeah, roads on everything was completely flooded. Like we couldn't even go to places. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm just glad nothing happened. And the worst part is, listen to this. Like, they said that the Kotmali dam freaking broke. Okay, so everyone was like, we got the information. Like, we literally got the information an hour after the whole spectacle happened. Some boys, like, they were fishing or something, and they heard a siren, and they assumed that the Kotmali dam was freaking broken. And then they spread it to the whole freaking town, and people are literally climbing hills. And the sad thing is, like, a few people died from that incident too, and like we were also like in a bit of a what do you call, we were in a rush, and like we didn't know what to do. And worst part is, we got the information 1 hour after that whole thing happened. Like that was funny and sad at the same time. I don't know what's going on these days, honestly. Like it was crazy. I've never experienced something like this in my whole life. And people are saying that the 1978 flood was like the closest to this, but I think this is a little worse, a lot worse than the 1978 one. Hmm. Like I don't know, man. Like it's just crazy, you know. At least we're safe, you know. The people I know are, close friends, and everyone are safe, so that's a good thing. A lot of houses are like very damaged, but oh, I guess um nature does whatever it wants. We can't do anything about it. Yeah, it's like really bad. And it hasn't even stopped yet. That's the worst part. Like the whole flood thing and the whole rain thing still hasn't stopped. And every time it rains, like we're freaking out because we don't know what might happen. Oh, thankfully, everyone's okay. So I'm just glad you joined in. I haven't talked to you in such a long time. So, like, are you planning on streaming again sometime? I'd love to join. Yeah, honestly, it's like really like the people who joined in and the people who are like from all over the country, people are coming to clean things up and help people out. That's like one of the biggest things I think in Sri Lanka because hey Grand, how you doing? I'm sorry. It's been a while. How you doing? Yeah, we're doing science experiment stuff. More like a psychology experiment though. Oh, you got work. Okay, okay. See you, Pixie. Have fun. And good luck with work. Have fun with work. I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but yeah, go ahead. Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Anytime. Okay, bye-bye. See you. Bye. Thank you. Have fun. Bye. And grandson, 本当にありがとうございました。Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You're gonna play game. Are you like gonna stream? Like I haven't joined people's streams in so long, and Ruru is like she's a big streamer now. Like she kind of started last year, when I started, and now she's like a really big streamer, which is like so cool. And I haven't been doing anything for like a literal year now. Like I think the last video I uploaded was like an year ago, and thankfully I can actually freaking stream. I'm so glad about that. Like I am so happy that I can at least stream now. So how have things been going? Have you been having a good time, you know? Oh, you won't stream. Okay. That's cool. Well, are you gonna stream anytime soon? Like you used to have streams on Twitch, right? Yeah, honestly, they have. They've grown so much. And it's like nice to actually see them, you know? Like it's cool. Like I thought at the start when I was getting back into his streaming and stuff, VTube, I thought I was gonna focus on YouTube mainly, content creation, because you knew how bad my connection was at the time. I couldn't even freaking upload a proper video. So, like I was thinking, why not focus on content creation, psychology stuff, and stuff like that. So, and like somehow I came like I'm staying in another place. I'm not staying at home right now, and here the connection is so good. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I'll join next time. Just send me the link when you're streaming. Or oh, you're streaming on Twitch, right? Okay, I'll be updated. Yeah, it is. It is fun, you know? And like I just want to focus on content creation and stuff like that. So I can't game on this computer so like I was thinking and graphic novels and horror stuff and stuff like that. And also YouTube content, which is like psychological content or horror stories and stuff like that, like the usual thing. So yeah, it's been going well, I guess. I'm having fun at least. How long has it been anyway? Okay, it's 15 minutes. Okay, that's cool. I can talk a little while longer, I guess. I mean, it's been, it's been like the last year, to be honest, for me, it's been very hectic. And like I've tried a lot of different things. I tried freaking digital marketing. I tried a lot of things, and somehow I ended up like screwing things up big time. Mm. Oh, okay. Streaming. Okay. Random idea streaming. Okay, content creation. Cool. I mean, content creation is nice. Honestly, like I'm so glad I got a proper connection. Like this is like the best thing that's happened to me all year long. Like, what kind of content are you gonna focus on? I know gaming streams are fun, but like they can be taxing at times, you know. I haven't really done a proper gaming stream because my computer is so bad. So I don't think I'll be able to do anything other than graphic novels and stuff like that, you know. Or itch.io games. I'm gonna focus on itch.io. I'm gonna literally go ravaging itch.io for games and then, you know, play those things. And these days I've been searching for browser games, like, and like there are so many good browser games out there too. I was thinking of, you know, trying out those also. Like, I am the king of free stuff. I literally don't pay for anything. Like, till today, my whole VTuber journey, my voice acting thing, I've never paid for anything. Which is like, um oh my gosh, that would be so fun. I am so gonna watch that. I love One Piece. I love One Piece. I freaking love One Piece. One Piece is the best anime ever. Like I've literally got I'm not sure, like if someone follows me you might know it. I've actually got the what do you call stream alerts and stuff with One Piece. Like one of the theme songs and stuff. Like I freaking love I can't remember when I started watching One Piece, but ever since I've started watching One Piece, I'm like in love with One Piece and I can't stop watching One Piece at this point. I'm now like I finished watching One Piece, so I'm waiting for the what do you call um like I'm waiting for the next episode, next 3 episodes, and then the season is freaking over. Honestly, cool. 2 years. It's like been such a long time, honestly. Yeah, it's like I don't know. Everyone's just some of them left, some of them are going big, and you know the community is completely changed now. You don't People don't talk much. Even Hina left, right? I haven't seen her. I think the last um post she made was that letter one with the what's the his name? Rice something? I'm sorry, I can't remember. The piano person. So yeah, it's been such a long journey, I guess, for people. And everything's just changed, you know. Hmm. What's like your favorite character in One Piece though? Yeah, the JVA community. You know, like there are so many people there. I think Yuki's still there. She's active, but I haven't talked to her. Like I feel, you know, I feel weird reaching out to her now and stuff. And I'm not sure if Shinji is still there. I haven't seen Shinji in a while. Kiri still talks. We're cool, and well, most of them have kind of died down. Nissan has died down. Oh. Oh, yeah, yeah. Something along those lines. Yeah, she did mention that, didn't she? I hope she's happy. I hope she's having fun at least. I mean, everyone's just, you know, leaving. It's sad. What can I say? I mean, it's life, I guess. And even on VSAU, they haven't really done much projects, have they? I mean, Aaron and everyone have quieted down a bit, I guess. I mean, I think Aaron was there in Sales stream last time. I'm not sure. Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Hmm. I don't know. Now it's like I'm kind of moving into the VTubing community now, but I still haven't found people. Oh, I did find Sri Lankan VTubers though. Like I was freaking surprised the first time I found Sri Lankan VTuber. I was like, dang, where the hell did these people even come from? Like during the past year, like Sri Lankan VTubers have been growing, and like I didn't even freaking know. I didn't know that there were Sri Lankan VTubers. So, there are some really cool VTubers out there, but they speak in Sinhala, so that's also really cool because I literally can't do Sinhala. Sinhala is like one of the Sri Lankan languages. I can't do Sinhala and Tamil because I mean I know the languages, but I'm just not confident with them. I can't go around and just say something like தமிழால பேசினா என்ன சரி ஆயிரும் அப்படி சிங்களம் கத்தாக்கறானா முனஹரி வை எனிசா முக் கரகana ba. It's just so confusing. Okay. So I'm like really surprised people do content. I mean, VTubing content in Sinhala, and it's really like raging. They also opened a agency called Savvy or something. So it's cool. It's like going really well, I guess. Honestly, and like they're into voice acting too, which is like really cool. I haven't really had so much fun in a while. I've been stressing about things a lot and I haven't been, doing anything productive. So this is like, getting into this has really helped me because I've been going through shit these past few days. I'm sorry. Like these past few months have been very, exhausting most of the time. I had some really bad experiences with, the classes. And then my country went, like, recently, the country is completely demolished at this point. So, like, I think this is a good thing for me, getting back into YouTubing because it's kind of taking the whole it kind of gives me something to focus on right now instead of I mean I want to study, yes, but the people in the place that I'm in my like the people there are very I don't know, they're just I just don't vibe with them that much, so it's kind of hard. But somehow, you just have to go and do the thing because I want to finish my degree no matter what. So, kind of gritting my teeth and just doing it for now. And the teacher literally left. The miss who is teaching us, like, she couldn't take the whole drama stuff in the whole class, and like she left. And like she was the only thing, like, I don't know. I'm just so exhausted at this point. Like everything's just weird. So yeah, I mean, probably I'm just weird. That's probably the most plausible thing to consider at this point. I am just freaking weird. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna check what's going on. Dun, da, 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 dun, da, 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 dun, da, 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 da. すいません。ちょっと why isn't this oh, okay, it worked. Okay, sorry, give me 1 sec. I'm just trying to figure things out here. Like, I had so many, like, one thing that I figured out was like multi-streaming is plausible in this whole situation. And like the plus point is when you're multi-streaming, you don't consume too much data either. Like it doesn't consume double the data from normal streaming, because if you use Restream, you can just multi-stream to different platforms, and that's like a really cool thing for me right now, because I want to focus on both gaming and VTubing. I mean, content creation. So I was thinking content creation on YouTube while what do you call gaming on Twitch. So I was hoping to balance those two, but it's probably gonna take a very hard, it's a yeah, yeah. It's really useful, I know. It's so cool. It's like really easy to use. And you don't have to deal with the whole YouTube drama when you're, using Restream, because specifically using YouTube Stream is like really, really annoying. Sorry. So yeah, I'm exhausted now. I mean, my legs hurt. I haven't. I'm like sitting on my legs and ouch. It's been so freaking long. I mean, I'm having so much fun after a long time. Glad. Okay. Okay. It's 12:27, and I think I'm gonna start the whole what do you call, what's the name again? The whole psychological experimental thing. Yeah. So let's see. I'm just gonna go to, where was I? ちょっと待って。これ何 かんない。This is like, oh shit. Oh, please give me, where my model went. No, no, I didn't mean to do that. The coolest experiments ever done, literally. I mean, no offense, but those experiments are kind of cool because, like, I know there's like a shitload of stuff. Okay, sorry. There's like a lot of stuff going on in the whole situation thingy, but at the end of the day, like, those stories are interesting, and you can literally see how humans actually react to such situations. And it's like, and that's like, I know it's unethical and not cool, but at the end of the day, like, it's like they're putting humans in a, like, people in a situation where they are being tested, to do the worst freaking thing possible in existence, and they just freaking go along with it. People just do that. And like, I don't know, it is cool. Oh my gosh, I'm probably gonna get scolded for this one. Yeah, so I was just thinking, going from this to like a tier list kind of system, we're kind of ranking the whole psychological experiment stuff. What was the name I put to the stream anyway? Like, I think I put the right name, because please tell me I put the right name. Where, what is the name? Okay, I can't bother going back to that thing. Some of the best knowledge we have on medicine and psychology came from. Yes, that is true. That is true. Like, a lot of them came from such experiments, unfortunately, and I mean, they say the greater good, but at the end of the day, I don't know. It's just, I wouldn't say it's a gray area, but it's bad. It falls under complete evil, but I don't know. I don't think I have the, complacency, I mean, the thing to actually comment on that, but like, it is true though. A lot of things come from such experiments, so both in psychology and in medicine, you know. True. That's very true. Okay, so I'm gonna move to the next page or slide or source or whatever that is. I can't remember what you call it. Okay, so this is the ranking system that we're gonna have. So I'm gonna be ranking. Oh, I was not supposed to have that there. Sorry. um, how are we supposed to prove I'm stronger than 20 toddlers at once if you don't put it to the okay? Dude, that is literally the okay. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's pretty reasonable, but how are you even gonna have 20 toddlers on top of you that you wouldn't even fit beneath them? I mean, even if they are toddlers, 20 toddlers is a lot, and you'd be crushed to death by that point. But true, you gotta put everything to the test these days. I mean, alright, back in the day, they didn't have ethics and stuff like that. That's cool. But even after all that, even nowadays, people still do that, right? I just have one example on that, but I think I just busted it. So for real though, they don't do any judgments. I'm honestly not sure if it's just the stamina, cause like toddler on top of toddler on top of toddler on top of toddler on top of toddler, like a toddler ladder system, and beneath that I think you'd get crushed pretty bad. I don't think stamina can help you in that kind of situation. Like, let's say you put a box above you, like on top of you, a wooden box, and keep putting toddlers inside the box. Like, you literally have a tower of toddlers, a toddler tower, a toddler tower. And like, you'd get crushed. I mean, okay, one thing, the box would be heavy, even if you were to put some, paper material boxes or whatever, just, a long box on top of like, I don't know, a 20-meter box. No, sorry, not 20 meters, but like a 10 meter box on top of you. I don't, like, how long would toddlers actually be? Okay, maybe not meters, but like, if you were to stack toddlers on top of each other, like, how high would they be? Okay, so you're gonna battle them now. Okay, got it. That makes sense. I mean, I've been rambling on about toddlers, stacking toddlers on each other, but okay, in a battle scenario, okay, that makes sense. Toddlers taking up knives and armor and, a shield and coming at you with full force. That would be awesome, though. We should try that. We should have toddlers do that. It would be cool. It would be hella cool. I think I probably gotta drag this whole thing. Alright, so let's move into the thing with So I was thinking I'll just leave a tire sheet here for the whole, just to keep record of things and stuff. And first off, knives, I think you only need 5 to 10. Yeah, knives can actually deal damage. I mean, I don't mean real knives. I mean like a wooden sword or something. A wooden sword and a wooden shield and coming at you, battle mode on. Like, that would be awesome. Like, toddlers. Okay, maybe not real knives. I think they'd cut themselves before actually cutting you in the whole process. And I don't think them stabbing into you would actually make much damage because toddlers don't have that much arm strength. And just let me know if my voice is a little too loud because this OBS setting is like showing me in the red. So I think that might be bad. So these are the experiments So I was thinking of also showing the experiments like while streaming. So let's talk about the first experiment. Actually, I know that I'm talking about this right off the bat, but this experiment is pretty gruesome in its own way. It isn't exactly like gruesome in the sense of like kind of gruesome. It's more like a I don't know. It's just it's just weird, kind of gruesome. Okay, maybe it's not gruesome. It's just freaking weird in itself. But the whole thing actually made sense why he did that and what he did that. So what he did, not that. So this is the Landis facial expressions experiment, 1924. The vibe is like it's weird science turned dark. Okay, it's just literally weird stuff. Like I don't know where this person even got the idea into his head, but somehow he got an idea and he went on with it. I think, and he's actually a student. I think he's a psychology major, and he wasn't a professor or anything. But I'm not. I think we should check that. Just to be on the safer side. That's what I was thinking. Um, I wanna check the whole scenario while also streaming just to make things more clear. So the name of the experiment is Landis facial experiment, a spatial facial expressions experiment, and so a rundown on. So wait, Landis was the one who did it, right? I mean, he murdered. Sorry. Um, Give me one moment. I'm trying to get the whole. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Google. No, no, no. Got it. Okay. So yeah. Um, Landis's experiment. Okay. Let's stick to the question. Who is Landis? Who is Carney Landis? He accepted an appointment as research associate psychologist at the New York State Psychiatric Institute and Hospital in New York City. Here he remained until his death, becoming chief research psychologist. Okay, he actually became a chief research psychologist and they freaking let him. I mean, he caused so much chaos in the whole situation. See, a Minnesota University graduate student, Carney Landis. He was a graduate student. And this specific graduate student, what he did was he kind of took a few people into consideration, life essence, and yeah, what he did was he took a few individuals, and he, for the experiment, what do you call those things? I mean, sorry, that was rude. What do you call those kind of people? I'm forgetting words. Like, dude. All right. So the main focus of his experiment was like he wanted to see if all humans like make the exact same facial expressions like for specific emotions. Like when they feel specific emotions, are they gonna make like the same expressions, like the same patterns in their faces? Yes, test subjects. Okay, that was the one. That's the one. I was actually searching for another term, but test subjects works. Let's go with that. So, yeah. So, to identify the facial expressions and stuff, what he did was he painted black lines on the students' faces, like to measure the like muscle movement. He wanted to measure like it's like a face tracking. It's kind of like face tracking for VTubing. So you know how VTubing systems nowadays, like based on facial expressions, it kind of moves. So he kind of took the whole system, practically drawing lines on their faces at the time, and he wanted to see if each and every person like has the same expression or the pattern of the expression when he like for specific situations that he puts them in, right? So it's like asking a person to like cut off a rat's head right now and there for like, all right, let's, yeah, kind of like VTubing facial tracking. Like you have those face tracking softwares like these days, like those things kind of have, you can see like when you're using a VTuber model, you can like see their like yeah, like the original VTuber model I had, like the V-Ride model. So when you're using those kind of models, you can like see your face also in the whole software, and in that sometimes they might show you lines or patterns of how your facial expressions move, and that's how kind of the how bigger VTubers track their faces and are able to have more expressions in their VTuber models. Like there are a ton of VTuber models like with really good facial tracking software, I mean systems, and like I don't know, they just rig it so well. I have no idea how they even do that stuff. Like I have never like I really want to see the process of people rigging a VTuber model once at least, just to get an idea of the whole thing. So yeah, where was I? I keep forgetting things. So just be prepared to face the wrath of eternal darkness. Says I. Okay, so it's like asking a person to like cut off a rat's head right now and there for like. Okay, it's like this. I give you $5. I give you $5. $5 worth of money in my sense. $5 is very big. Okay, $5 is like 1,000 rupees. I think 300 times 5. 1,005. So yeah, $5 is big. Um, okay, so it's like I give you $5 and ask you to cut off a rat's head. Would you cut it? Would you cut off a rat's head if I give you $5? That is the main question here. And in this day and age, okay. Okay, bye bye. Have fun. Okay, thank you. Have fun. Hope you have a great game. Bye bye. All right, so we'll just move on. I mean, practically, I'm just gonna be talking about talking to myself the whole time because this is more gonna be more of a VOD at the end of the day. So I want to post this on YouTube and on Twitch. If I'm lucky, people will be watching. I mean, I haven't checked Twitch, so let me just do that. Let me just do that. Let me just do that. I am so boring. I am so hot. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Life is interesting. It's meant to be interesting, and we shall not portray the absence of truth. Ooh, that actually sounded good. I can't believe it's actually working. Okay, so I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, so we shall be portraying fish. Okay, maybe I should do this whole thing in this kind of voice. The people who are gonna watch this what are gonna freak out for once. I mean, a VTuber doing content creation and doing, I mean, at least stick the whole role model of being a content creator here and not just flip your systems off. I mean, it's me, so I can't help it. It's me. It's me. もう嫌なんすけどな、これ何してんだ俺。まあ別にいいけど、面白いだし。まあ、I freaking love talking to myself, so this actually helps, take my head off things. I love that. So it's like I'm actually practically using my practical knowledge of talking to myself in a very useful and entertaining process. And this is interesting. I am interesting to myself. Therefore, I don't care what you feel about me. I should tell that to someone. So let's move on. So why am I stuck in this one question? All right. So if I asked you to cut off a rat's freaking head for $5, would you do it? I mean, most of you would probably not do it because that is an insane thing to do unless you like rats and you enjoy cutting rats' heads, unless you are a freaking psychopath. Okay, let me tell you this. Okay, not enjoying, but like cutting rats' heads, knowing how to cut a rat's head, or somehow learning how to cut a rat's head does not make you a psychopath. All right, it just means that you've learned something and you're doing the whole process. It's like cutting a chicken's head off, you know. But cutting a rat's head from the first try, without a freaking care in the world, and without feeling any such emotions about, okay, maybe not death, no disgust, nothing. So in that kind of situation, that's what kind of makes a person like a psychopath kind of thing. So psychopathy is more leaned into emotionless actions. They just don't feel emotions. So that is what a psychopath is, basically. So like I had this thought, just I was just sitting on the floor. I love sitting on the floor, by the way. Every day in class I sit on the floor and people like looked at me weird. Like they literally looked at me weird. And then after a few days people are like they're sitting on the floor with me. Like it literally became a trend. The whole sitting on the floor concept, it became a trend. And my friends, like, they sit next to me. They're like, okay, they're also coming and sitting, and another person sits. So it's like a whole gang of people sitting on the floor. It was really nice though, like after this year, I literally, I don't want to get involved into drama is scary, girls are scary. Sorry. So yeah, ah man, I feel like I'm stuck in this one question. Why am I even getting so sidetracked? Like I know that I have ADHD, but ADHD does not entail getting sidetracked just to explain one freaking topic. And that was supposed to be like a hook kind of thing, a hook in a video. But no, it didn't work like that. Never works like that. My mind doesn't let me work like that. Okay, so let's start over. Alright, so let's say I cut off a rat's head. No, I mean, I asked you to cut off a rat's head for $5. Would you do it? Like, most of you probably would be saying, no, I can't do this. This is abnormal. This is abnormal. You are crazy asking me to do this kind of thing. You think I would do that? No, I would not do that. I will not do this. You psycho. Sorry. I probably shouldn't be using that word, being a psychology student and all. Probably should not be using that word, but okay. So all right, so you probably would say no, but in 1924 this freaking psychologist proved that 71% of you probably would. All right, even in this situation, 71% of you probably would cut off the head for $5. I mean, if I were to force you to, or like sometime, okay, maybe not force you to, but you might do it. There might be people who would do it. All right, out of 100 people, if you were to take 100 people and then ask them to cut a rat's head, one person would do it. Another person would look at that one person and that person would do it. And that person would look at another person and that another person would look at this person and that person would do it. And that person, like, it's like a whole chain of looking at that person and doing it. I look at him, I do it. I look at him, I do it. That person look at me and that person do it. That person's neighboring person look at that person and that person do it. Neighboring person do it. It's like a whole dramatical engineering process of doing things based on what other people do. It's like yawning. It's like you look at me yawning and then you suddenly start yawning, and you look at that, another person looks at you yawning and that person starts yawning. So it's a whole process. Okay, I know that I use like different accents and stuff, just don't mind it. It's just interesting. It keeps me occupied and it keeps me running at least. So okay, this thing is, I don't know how to clear chats, so honestly I have to figure that out. This is annoying though. Maybe I should. All right, I'm gonna mute the chat. I mean, I'm gonna hide the chat for now. Just to be. It's like, okay, maybe. Okay, it's okay, right? I don't think it's that bad. Okay, yeah, let's just leave it. It's kind of annoying for me, but okay. Oh, I could do this, right? Toggle vanish, and then I'll just drag it to the bottom. Right, so if someone messages it, I probably would notice, so. Okay, so where was I? This. Yeah, so let's just go to this again. So, basically, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this again. Alright, what was I talking about? Yeah, so 71% of you probably would. That's what his whole experiment was all about. So, alright, so Carney Landis was the experimenter, the psychologist who, processed this whole experiment in 1924. Like, what he wanted to see was if all humans make the same exact facial expressions for specific emotions. He painted black lines on students' faces to measure their muscle movements. He made them smell ammonia, touch live frogs, and alright, so as I told you earlier, he painted people's faces, right? He painted people's faces and he wanted to check how their facial expressions move based on their emotions, or if a specific action leads to the same emotion in different people. That was also the thing that he wanted to check. So what he made people to do was things like he made people smell ammonia. That was okay. And then he made people touch live frogs. And some people probably did it, they did it because frogs are okay. They're amphibians. You touch them and they are slimy. That's all there is to it. And they also made people would watch corn, if you get what I'm saying. So it just started as a group, like a goofy prank like study. It was mostly a prank at the start. It was like interesting because they were all students, so the participants were all students, and they just want to have fun. So this person gave him them a reason to have fun, a way to have fun with themselves, and yeah, this was interesting for them. So they were like pranky, they were having fun, it was funny. But the twist is, the final task wasn't really funny. Landis put a live white rat on a tray, handed the student a dull butcher knife, and ordered them to decapitate it. The students begged to stop, cried even, complained, and they tried to leave. But Landis, acting as the authority figure, pushed them. 15 out of 21, 21% complied, not compiled, it's complied, and hacked the animal to death. For those who refused, Landis grabbed the knife and did it himself to capture their reactions. That person is freaking twisted. Seriously, why the hell would they do that to people? So yeah. So that's basically what happened. You get the gist of it, right? They placed a freaking rat in front of them. This Landis person asked them to cut their heads. Was it to cut their heads? I'm not sure. White rat on a tray, handed the students a dull butcher knife and ordered them to decapitate. Okay, they just asked them to decapitate the rat. Alright? So a lot of people refused, and they begged to stop the experiment and stuff, but at the end of the day, he was the authority figure in the whole situation and he pushed them to do it, and 15 out of 21 people did it. They didn't take 100 people like I did, but yeah. So they complied and hacked the animal to death. For those who refused, Landis grabbed the knife and did it himself to capture that reaction. So what he wanted to do was get the reaction out of the person. And that's all he wanted to do. And for that purpose, he did it himself in front of those questionable people. Good people. Or whatever. So the key takeaway here is that the experiment was a failure. There is no universal horror face, but it accidentally discovered destructive obedience decades before the famous Milgram experiment. So the Milgram experiment is something I'll be talking about later. That is an experiment which deals with obedience and compliance. So the experiment that Landis was focusing on didn't go well, but it accidentally discovered destructive obedience, which was another thing. So, just, for reference, I'll be showing you the faces of the people who, those people with lines, so how they actually did the whole process. So I hope you can see this. Why isn't it zooming on this? Yes, けどな. Okay. それじゃない. Alright, so it's not really that clear, but as you can see, there are lines in that person's face. Oh, come on, just open it. Alright, here. So, okay, still didn't work. Let me just get a clear image for you, and honestly, I'm not sure if people are gonna watch this VOD, because, nah, not Facebook. I don't want Facebook. Alright, this one. Check it out. Check it out. Hoo-hoo. Waka waka samina sangare pua. Stanford Africa. Something's wrong with my head. Something wrong with my mind. Something's wrong with my state of affairs. Honestly, why is my connection so bad? Is it just my connection, or is it the whole process of the evaluation of the whole drama network? I'm not really sure if I should be streaming this. So yeah, like you could probably see, the image is a little bit, how the people have like different lines drawn on their faces and stuff. Or this dude's face is like, it's like Joker. I mean, it's like Pennywise mostly. Not Joker though. He looks like Pennywise. So yeah, similarly, they just kept drawing weird lines on their faces to measure facial recognition and stuff. So yes, that was one experiment. So now the $1 million question is, where shall this experiment be placed within this array of decapitations? Sorry, what the hell? So, alright. So, is it cruel and unusual? Alright, let's go from the top or the bottom. The top or the bottom. The top or the bottom. Let's go from the top. Is it pure evil? Did they murder? Did they commit murder? Did they commit arson? No, they didn't. So, they didn't exactly kill, but they did. So the main point here is they didn't discover emotions like facial recognition in the whole experiment, but what they did was they recognized obedience, destructive obedience. So destructive obedience is like a very big thing, to be honest, because a person being manipulated ain't really that simple. So it would be traumatizing, yes. To some, it would have been traumatizing, but I don't think the experiment itself is cause to trauma. So I think it'll be cruel and unusual. Personally, it's not morally gray. No, I don't think it's morally gray at all. Because at the end of the day, if he had just left with the whole, if he had stopped with the whole can't cut rat part, then it would have been morally gray. Because it was funny and he listened to people. But this, I think it'll, okay, maybe, I'm also not really sure now. Is it morally gray or cruel and unusual? I mean, I'd make it lean towards morally gray, cruel and unusual. I mean, it's cruel and unusual for me because I personally think it's cruel and unusual and not morally gray at all. But if you have any other opinions, do, drop them in the comments or, in the chat. Just so that, you can get an idea of things. Because the answer is always not right. That's the thing about, the whole tier system. There is no right or wrong answer. It's just a person's opinion and experiences based on, honestly, Pixie's been there. I really haven't talked to Pixie in a long time, and I really appreciate her joining in. Okay, losing track again. So yeah, I'd say it falls under cruel and unusual. Alright, so we'll move on to the next topic. Honestly, I've been dragging this for so long. It's been like, oh my gosh, it's been 1 hour. I was thinking of ending the stream in 2 hours, but I feel like it'll go on for a lot more than that. But I at least want to cover a few more topics, so let's do it. Let's do this! Ganbarimashou! And the next experiment in line is the little Albert experiment. For this, I am just gonna be, a small rundown on the experiment, and I'm not really gonna be talking about too much because I've already discussed this experiment in another video. Yes, I forgot to link that video on the description, but I shall do it right after the stream. So if you're interested, you can check it out. It's a really nice video. First video after such a long time, so it has to be nice, or else it shall perish within my soul. Yeah, whatever. So, yeah. Alright, so basically, the little Albert experiment is a 1920 experiment by John B. Watson and Rosalie Rayner. So, like, the main idea of the whole experiment is, like, we all have phobias, alright? So, spiders, clowns, heights, water, claustrophobia, or all kinds of stuff. So, but what if I told you that your fears might have been, like, engineered? It might have been controlled, it might have been developed, it might have been caused by an incident or two, or even purposefully. So in 1920, a scientist decided to give a baby a phobia just to see if he could. Just to see if he could. Just to see if he could. Pissu. Pissu, 마지. Pissu. Pissu 나타내 봐봐. Sorry. If you understand that, you probably I didn't say anything bad. I didn't say anything bad. 운동 필요해 솔랄라. 뭐시 혼돈이 이 건한데. I know. Don't mind me. I talk in different languages in different times and different accents in different times. I'm tired. But let's keep this up. So, yeah, so what they did in this experiment was John B. Watson wanted to prove fear is learned. So the people who were involved in this experiment were John B. Watson and Rosalie Rayner. And like what they did was like they took a 9-month-old baby named Albert who loved animals. He loved animals. The little 9-month-old baby loved animals. What's wrong with that? So John Watson, Mr. Watson, not the one in Sherlock Holmes, but this Watson. He put a white rat in front of Albert. And when Albert reached for it, Watson slammed the hammer against a steel bar behind his head. Clang, godo-godo-dung, jung-jung-jung, chika-laka-boom. So Albert screamed. He was scared. So, and like they did the whole process again and again. Like they scared Albert every time he tried to touch the rat, and Albert started to cry. And the twist here is like the fear kind of spread, not from Albert to another baby, but the fear Albert felt from one object or one being started spreading to he started feeling fear from other things too. Albert didn't just he didn't just fear rats. He became terrified of anything furry, like anything furry and white. A rabbit, a dog, a sealskin coat, like the ones rich people wear. And even like Santa Claus's mask. So and he kind of had a meltdown when he was faced with John B. Watson wearing the Santa Claus mask. So, or maybe he was just afraid of John B. Watson in himself. Why did not they consider this aspect? He could have been afraid of that narcissist. I mean, he is a narcissist. He thinks he's right. He's always right. I hate that kind of people, people who think they're always right. They don't give a freaking damn about other people's feelings. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I hate those kind of people. Like, freaking listen to what I say. Dude, freaking listen to what I say before you make your own judgments about my whole personality or my whole situation or my whole flaws or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Well, I mean, I do have all of them though, so it's pretty reasonable. But yeah, anyways, so the key takeaway here is that Watson never fixed Albert. Blah, blah, blah. He never treated Albert. Watson was he was fired shortly after having an affair with his student, Rosalie Rayner, who was also involved in this experiment. I don't know why that information is here, but yeah, he did do that. So, and Albert died at age 6 from hydrocephalus, meaning Watson likely experimented on a neurologically disabled child. This makes things even worse, doesn't it? I mean, the kid has a neurological disorder, and this guy makes things worse for him. Honestly, I mean, he got the baby because he didn't cry. The only reason Watson chose the little baby was because the baby didn't cry. And if a baby didn't cry, it's equal to having some kind of issues with, he might have a neurological disorder. That's how kids were, that's how I was when I was a kid. I didn't laugh. I mean, I didn't cry. I loved injections. I was weird. So, what do you think your irrational fear is? If you, do you have something like that? A fear of, the ocean? Are you afraid of the ocean? Are you afraid of heights? And So the sad truth is that Watson or anyone never treated Albert, and he lived his entire life with depression. And when I say died at age 6 from hydrocephalus, that's just a theory because they're considering if the boy was actually named Douglas Merritt. So there are two studies where one specifies the boy as Douglas Merritt, and the other one specifies the boy as I can't remember the name, but it was something along with Albert. So their his true identity was never confirmed. The child's true identity was never confirmed, and they do not know what happened to the child at the end of the day. So yeah. Next, so where do you think this stands? Where do you think this experiment stands in the whole segment? Oh my gosh, I didn't switch this. I'm sorry. So let me just show you some images of the little Albert experiment. So this was little Albert, you know. He fears even Santa, and the whole idea of the whole experiment was emotional conditioning. So you can look into my video later on to understand the whole concept. And it's like how classical conditioning works, but it's based on fear and not practical things like a bell and a dog, like what Pavlov did in his experiment. So they taught fear. So this was like how Albert learned fear, and he was afraid of different things. So yeah, that's little Albert's story. And look at them. Like, why would they even do that? You should never like carry a baby like that. I'm not sure if that's him per se, but like carrying a baby with one arm is like the worst thing you could do, because it could literally dislocate the baby's arm, because their arms are very soft and it could break their bones and stuff. So it's very dangerous to carry a baby by their arm. So yeah, where do you think this experiment falls? Does it fall under pure evil? Or does it fall under traumatizing? Or does it fall under cruel and unusual, morally gray, necessary evil? In my opinion, I'd say outright traumatizing. Why? Because Albert is just a child. And doing that to a child is unacceptable. A child who doesn't understand the world, a child who doesn't understand what he feels, a child whose whole very being is like a mystery to himself. And he's a freaking 9-month-old child. What do you expect? Of course he's gonna be scared if you do something like that. And therefore, I'm gonna put it under traumatizing. I mean, I would put it under pure evil, but I'm saying giving him some slack at this point, because he was like, this was like the first experiment I researched on. So yeah, I'll drop the link for the video too, so just check it out later on when you have the time. Anyways, yeah. Let's see. I just want to check how things are working on. And so the next experiment we'll be moving on to is the monster experiments. The monster experiment. You shall face the disastrous monster that shall quell the thirst in your fleshing blood. Flesh. I'm gonna get banned for flesh. I'm just kidding. I don't want to get banned. Like, I just started streaming. I don't want to go through that. I'm tired, exhausted, antisocial. I mean, mostly antisocial, but yeah. Let's see. Just checking things out. To be on the safe side. To be on the safe side. Honestly, Twitch is so good for streaming because till now it's still, properly. Oh, I guess that makes sense because Twitch is like, it kind of skips stuff. I forgot. That makes a lot of sense. And YouTube doesn't really do that. Oh, but it's still catching up. I don't understand this. I don't understand this whole process of informational disorientation. But alright, so the next topic is the monster experiment. The monster experiment, 1939. This is true crime. This is true crime. So the monster experiment. Let me just show you a few images just to get the clear idea. Or monster experimento. So they act like they're good people teaching children, but in reality, it's a lot more darker. A stuttering experiment that was held by Wendell Johnson. This experiment was so unethical that the University of Iowa hid it in their archives for 60 years. They nicknamed it the Monster Study because of what they did to orphans. Alright, so the person who was involved in this whole experiment thingy was Wendell Johnson. Like, he believed that stuttering was caused by parents criticizing their children's speech. It's a pretty plausible explanation because it could happen. I mean, considering the current situations, a lot of people downgrade or compare their children to others, which in turn causes children to develop habits that aren't exactly helpful. Sorry, that was the wrong phrasing. What I meant is like aren't exactly, what was I talking about? Can't remember. Okay, so he was criticizing alright, this person took a realistic approach in things. I mean, considering the whole experiment, like if you think of it in a logical perspective, yes, this experiment was somewhat right in a logical perspective. But in an emotional and ethical perspective, this could possibly be the worst experiment anyone could ever do. So what he did was he took 22 orphans. He took 22 orphans, kids, babies, orphans. And what did he do? The orphans, like, they were perfectly normal speakers, right? Okay, this makes sense. They were orphans, so there wasn't any parent to actually judge them or protect them. So that makes sense. I was actually wondering if this was a school of some sort, so this kind of clears things up for me too. So he took perfectly normal speakers and had his team gaslight them. Literally gaslighting them. So they told the kids, you have many of the symptoms of a child who is beginning to stutter. Don't ever speak unless you can do it right. That's honestly the worst thing anyone could do to a child. Don't even try. Don't even flinch. Act as if you're not existing. Act as if you're the wall. Act as if you are nothing. That is the worst thing a person could tell their children to do. Do nothing. That is possibly the worst thing they could tell them, because when every time a child makes a mistake, they learn from the mistakes. But in turn, if you were to tell them to do nothing, they wouldn't have the courage to try again. And if you were to blame them and tell them to not do this completely, just leave it and go. Like, let's be honest, people do that. Parents do that a lot these days. They point at children for the smallest mistakes, and they just angrily tell them to just leave the stuff, leave the whole thing, and just leave. And that is possibly one of the worst things a parent could do to that child, because they are snatching their confidence away from them, and in the process they're also snatching the confidence to try again away from them, their confidence to improve, their confidence to be better in life. And this in turn causes a lot of problems in the long run. So this is one of the worst things anyone can do to a child. So the researchers kind of harassed these kids for months. Like, the children didn't become stutterers. Like, they didn't stutter, like proving the theory wrong. But they were psychologically destroyed. The children didn't stutter, right? But they were psychologically destroyed. They stopped talking. Like, they were afraid to talk, so they covered their mouths with their hands, and they became recluses. Alright, let me correct something. I told you that it was a logical take for the whole thing, but in reality, I don't think this is a logical take for the whole thing, because they didn't exactly focus on the right aspect of things, you know? Don't ever speak unless you can do it right. I mean, I'm just saying, if it were in my perspective, I think the logical way to go about doing it is to manipulate them into believing that they stutter, to kind of like to make them act that way. And even in this procedure, I think they probably did stutter, but they weren't like stuttering through like a normal process, but they were normally stuttering, but they were like acting it out, kind of. They might have done that during the process. I think earlier when I was reading that, I went through that. So they were like, you know, the children were what do you call, processing the whole situation in that regard. So that is one thing. Like, the children didn't become stutterers, but they were psychologically destroyed. They stopped talking, covered their mouths and with their hands, and became recluses. So in 2007, the state of Iowa had to pay like the survivors $925,000. It stands as a monument to how scientists can lose their humanity in pursuit of data. Honestly, I don't really know why people do stuff like that. I mean, why even bother doing something so twisted? It's a pain in the arsenal. I mean, thinking about the consequences is a pain. Thinking about what people would think of you down the line is a pain. Like, you'd be considered a freaking villain, not a villain. Villains are okay. I love villains. Sorry, that was the wrong wording. I love villains. They'd be considered evil scientists for the rest of their lives, which actually sounds kind of cool. But that's not what we're here to talk about. All right, we're not talking about cool stuff here. We're talking about depressing stuff, or maybe depressing stuff in an international, depressing stuff in a interesting way, not international. So the next story. Oh wait, I forgot. We have to put this number. All right, this one. No offense, but straight up here. This was evil, right? This was pure evil because they kind of did that to kids, and I personally think that that is evil, outright evil, pure evil, no questions asked. I don't like it. Okay, I just don't like it. I know that I gave you all all that logical talk, but I just don't freaking like this whole experiment. I detest it. Because even the little Albert experiment, doing something like that to a child is the worst thing a human being can do, and that should never be done. So yeah. The next experiment that we're gonna be talking about is what is the next experiment? It is the smoky room experiment. Have you heard of the smoky room experiment? Have you heard it? Have you come across the smoky room experiment at least once in your lifetime? Because that is an interesting experiment, I say. I saidって言ってんだけどさ. Okay, sorry about that. So, alright, so next is the smoky room experiment, which it took place in 1968, and this experiment actually has a videotape of it. So I've linked it in the description, so you can check that out if you're interested, to further your study within the smoky room experiment. You shall forever be inclined to check my description, and also follow my other platforms. There's like Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube also. Before that, please do subscribe. I appreciate it. I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. I mean, kind of working hard now, and I'm planning on improving stuff. And if you're interested in psychological content or anything that involves psychology in general, and also if you're interested in voice acting, or if you're interested in gaming, I'd suggest go follow me on Twitch, because mostly I'll be gaming there. My games are more inclined to itch games and stuff like that, which are low spec games, but I think they'd be interesting in their own way, especially when it comes to graphic novels. And if there are any horror related or psychological graphic novels, I will be playing them on YouTube too. I just want to keep it clean. So yeah, it's a bit of an advertisement, I say. I said okay, so just subscribe, and if you're on Twitch, just follow me on Twitch. I'd appreciate that. And yeah, my back hurts. My back hurts. I'm getting old. I'm very old. I'm like an Osan. Osanjana. Obasanja. Obasanja. Obasan. That sounded like some character from One Piece. I can't remember what character though. Obasanja. That, like the accent, like the way I said it kind of sound. I'm a freaking One Piece fan, so just if you're not one, go check it out and be a One Piece fan. That is what I tell you. My wholehearted advice to human being in general, no matter what you are, what race you are. Sorry, that was rude. Just not do that. So yeah, no matter who you are, just watch One Piece, and you'll see how One Piece is just a masterpiece, so just watch it. I'm not gonna talk about it because it's not exactly a One Piece stream, but I will be making a One Piece stream at least once in my lifetime. So yeah, look forward to it. It's gonna be fun, especially when it comes to tragedy. I love tragedy, and One Piece has a lot of tragedy, especially when it comes to love. Love tragedy. It's got a lot. So it's probably gonna be a stream too. So it's not a video. Trust me, I don't make that kind of videos. I don't want to bother. Like I just, it's when it's something I'm like interested in, I just want to talk about it in, hours end and just have fun with it instead of being inclined to just cut off things and shorten it and put things and not talk like this. I want to talk like one way. There's like a lot of things you can do in life, but unfortunately for people don't work that way. People are, I don't know, weird. What can I say? I have no idea why I'm doing this now. So yeah, the Smoky Room Experiment, 1968. This was more of a mind-bending social commentary experiment. Let's say if there's a room and it started filling with smoke, all right, you generally run, right? You'd run, and you'd probably call 911 or the fire department, or yeah, 911 basically. And no offense, but statically, you would probably just sit there and burn. Arson will get to you. Somebody committed arson, and you just sit there and burn. It's like what happened recently. Like, I think this would be one of the best examples. I know it's rude, but there's been a big, like I mentioned earlier, I had a talk with Pixie Sama earlier regarding the current prevailing situation in Sri Lanka, which is very bad. And um a lot of houses have flooded, a lot of families have been affected, a lot of landslides have buried people alive, and it's been really bad. So the situation is very, very bad. And thankfully, there's like a lot of community services going on and a lot of young people getting together to support, you know, all the people from all over the country. And they're providing relief support and everything, which is one of the major advantages. Sri Lankans get together when they have to. I know they can be very rude at times, but when it matters, we're all getting together and supporting one another, which is like one of the best things you can see in these days. And recently, before the whole thing, there was a few individuals who've done very unethical things to tourists and foreigners in general, and well, that turned out very bad. But honestly, that is just weird people. Not even weird people. Like there's something wrong with their heads, for real. Or else like a normal person wouldn't do anything like that. Okay, so like I just wanted to say that Sri Lanka in general has really good people and really helpful people, especially to foreigners and to tourists. They would do anything. They Sri Lankans really like foreigners in general. Like even we used to, every time we saw foreigners in the streets and we'd talk to them. When I was a kid, I used to go up to them, talk to them and stuff. It used to be interesting, but nowadays everything's just changed, and there's like a different perspective for tourism in itself. And well, with the evolution of social media and stuff, things have been more open, which in turn causes mistrust within people. And well, what I'm trying to say is that a, a small group of people act out and cause a lot of trouble for the whole community. That's literally what happened. And at this point, I'm not sure what even happened to that guy, because the flood's taken a lot from us, and we don't really have time to worry about all that stuff right now. The only thing we're focusing on right now is, as a whole country, the one thing that we're focusing on is the development of our country in itself. We're trying to get through this whole situation with a straight face, with confidence, and to help people in need. When I say people in need, I mean people who've lost everything due to the floods and who are going through a lot, especially people who've lost their families. A lot of people have lost their families. A lot of people have died. Thankfully, none of my relatives or friends have been affected that badly, but a lot of people who I know have lost their houses, everything they worked hard to, develop and take. Like, everything's just, it all came raining down. So, yeah, I just want to say that now we as Sri Lankans are slowly developing. Like, we're trying to leave everything, all the problems and all the situations behind, and try to, move on with everything. So, yeah, if you are interested in supporting, you are like, there are a lot of relief services that are still operating, so you could reach out to them and help them either financially, or even volunteer services would really help at this point. And yeah, I just wanted to share it because honestly, I'm a Sri Lankan and I can't avoid talking about these things because it's my country and I do love it. I do love my country, can I say? No matter what, no matter how bad the internet connection used to be. I love my country, I just wanna, I just wanna stay here forever. I mean, I've never really thought about leaving Sri Lanka. So, yeah. Right. So I just wanted to share the whole thing, the prevailing situations and stuff. And I'm sorry for dragging it on like this. So, yeah. So the smoky room experiment. Let's talk about it. I haven't, gotten to it yet. So 1968. So it was in 1968, and so researchers I'm not sure how to pronounce this name, but I think it's Latane and Darley put people in a room to fill out a form. All right. So thick white smoke started pumping out of a vent. It got so bad people were coughing and waving it away. All right. It got really bad. It was like burning smoke. And when people were alone, 75% ran for help. But when they were in a room with two actors who were like told to ignore the smoke, only 10% of people reported the fire. The other 90% just sat there, coughing, filling out their paperwork because they didn't want to look awkward by reacting when no one else was. So this is basically a scenario where if a person needs help, you run to them and help when you're alone. But when you're with a crowd and none of the other people help that person, it kind of looks awkward, and you kind of question yourself. You think twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, 100 times about if you should be going and helping that person, because none of the other people are actually helping that person. But if one person were to go help that person, a lot more around them would also go and help that person. That is how, our mentalities are. Even in my case, like, there are things that I regret. I still remember not helping people, and it's not like a big thing, but like, it's still kind of, I have a guilty conscience when it comes to these things. Like, once there was a person sleeping on the side and on the streets, and there was a drop of water like just leaking from somewhere and just falling onto him, and I wanted to wake him up, just tell him that he's being drenched in water, but I didn't really do that. I just walked away like every other person on the streets. So yeah, similarly, people don't take action when needed. It's kind of sad, to be honest, because sometimes we just want people to help us. I mean, we want to help. We want to help. But our conscience sometimes doesn't let us. Like, it's going to be awkward if I help him. But if you think about it, there's nothing awkward about it either. There's nothing awkward about helping someone, but at that instant, something just holds you tight and just doesn't let you go. I guess I'm saying all of this to, partly relieve my guilty conscience, but I think it's a similar scenario. So this is like the bystander effect. So we don't trust our survival instincts, we trust the crowd. If the crowd does nothing, we do nothing, literally. So if the crowd falls into I'm just saying, like, if a whole bunch of people jumped into a well, wouldn't you jump into a well too, thinking that there's some reason for these people jump into a well? I mean, if they hear them dying, that's another story. But even then, some people might, who knows, thinking that if I stay here, I'm gonna die a gruesome death. So I'd rather just, sorry, that was an inappropriate comment, but like, I was just saying, there are situations like that. So for this experiment, how would you rate it? How would you tire it? The smoky room experiment. I mean, it isn't necessarily evil, I'd say that it isn't necessarily evil. It's not morally gray either, because I think it's a very realistic experiment that is practical in itself. I don't see much of an issue with this experiment. It does show how people react. I mean, if they used a different scenario for this, like, let's take helping people. Like, these days, there are a lot of people who fake falling in illness, or like, they fall down and they suddenly start breathing heavily, panic attacks and stuff like that, and just to get a reaction out of the people around them. But this experiment, so in a way, these experiments are still being held by not psychologists, by normal people, or YouTubers, or influencers. So I'd say this is a necessary evil. I know saying the word necessary evil does, feel weird, but what can I say? I mean, it's just human, um, it's just how humans are. There's nothing you can do about it. So yeah, I don't think it's that bad, to be honest. Alright, so we're gonna move to the next topic, which is. What is the next topic? Here we go. I am so in love with this. Alright. The next topic is the Milgram experiment. This is twisted. Trust me, this is one of the most twisted experiments I've gone through. And it is bad. Really bad. Alright? And when I say bad, it's not like bad, but bad. Very bad. So this is the Milgram experiment. Alright? The experiment was so unethical. Sorry, that's not the one. So the Milgram experiment was to check how people would react to authority. So this is one of the most famous experiments in history. It's for a reason. It asks, are Nazis special? Or is there a Nazi in all of us waiting for the right order? I know the phrasing is a bit off, but that's how they reference the whole thing from. And so the Milgram experiment goes like this. The participants were told to shock a stranger, who is the learner, every time they missed a question. The machine went from 15 volts to 450 volts, labeled XXX, as they shocked him, the learner. So, just to be clear, the learner here is an actor. He is an actor. He isn't really being shocked. He's just acting all of it out. And the learner, he acted the whole thing out, screamed, complained of heart trouble, and he eventually went silent. So here, the learner, I'm sorry. So there's two aspects: the teacher and the learner. The person who is the learner is an actor, while the teacher is not. So the teacher is a real participant, and he was feeling all the emotions at the instance. All right. So, and there was also a person with a lab coat. All right. So let me make this clear. So there is an instructor, a teacher, and a learner. So there is an authority level. An instructor, teacher, learner. In this case, the instructor is an actor and the learner is an actor, and the only person who's really being experimented on is the participant for this is the teacher. All right? So the teacher started experimenting the student or the learner. And so they increased the voltage rate. So when people tried to stop, even though people tried to stop, the person in the lab coat didn't he didn't necessarily use a gun or a threat or anything. He just used 4 simple phrases. 1, please continue. 2, the experiment requires that you continue. 3, it is absolutely essential that you continue. 4, You have no other choice. You must go on. Like, the sad truth is, that was enough for a person to be manipulated into doing another person's bidding. When they are put under pressure, they lose their whole process of thinking and they get overwhelmed by the person who's trying to manipulate them. And in this scenario, 65% of people went to the full 450 watts, fully believing they might be killing the guy. So, in their minds, they literally killed a human being. They were labeled murderers, and not only in themselves, but even in society, they were labeled, in a way, they were labeled murderers because they went through this experiment, and no matter how long it takes, they would never be able to get away from this guilt. In worst case scenarios, something worse could happen. So, the Milgram experiment proved that I was just following orders. That phrase, it just isn't a very rare excuse. Like, it's kind of like the default human setting. It just makes things easier when you're following orders. It just makes things easier when you have someone else to put the blame on. So, people can kill if they're following orders, because they have someone to put the blame on. But at the end of the day, if this were really gonna happen, if the teacher actually killed the learner, that default phrasing, I was just following orders, does not apply. I mean, yes, the people who were conducting the experiment would have been partly responsible, completely responsible for the whole thing, but at the end of the day, if someone actually died from the whole experiment, the teacher, the person who participated, would be labeled evil. He would go to jail, no matter what, because at the end of the day, he killed a human being, if that scenario ever happened. So, alright, and I just want to talk about something interesting on top of this. Right? So, have you ever heard something called the Milgram Project? The Milgram Project is... How do I... The Milgram Project. I also uploaded a video on this right before the stream just to get some traction, but I guess it didn't really get any traction because nobody joined. But so this is a musical kind of thing. It's kind of a music project by, this is their fandom, like Milgram Wiki, and let's just go through it because I'm also not that familiar with the whole. It's an interactive music project created by Deco27 and Yamanaka Takuya, managed by Otoiro. So the first teaser was released on 17/20/2020, and the project was officially released on April 27, 2020. So on YouTube. So this is like their project, their official project. So you could check it out, and I haven't really dropped the link here, but you could check out the Milgram Wiki, and if you're interested in the whole thing, and this is like their official Milgram YouTube channel, so they have all the videos and the musicals. Yeah, they have all of them here, so you could check them out, and they're really nice. I listened to some of them and I really like them. And well, the whole basis of the story is based on the Milgram project. Like, the plot is like wakes up in a strange place with a rabbit on their lap and no recollection of where or who they are. The rabbit introduces himself as Jackalope and goes on to explain as, yeah, he's, I can't remember how his name was, experiment, I think S or S, yeah, as a prison guard. So S is a prison guard tasked with the job of managing the 10 prisoners incarcerated in the prison. Jackalope warns S that despite what they seem, all the prisoners in Milgram are murderers. By watching the music videos extracted from the prisoners' minds, S must find out what their crimes and motivations were and then choose whether to forgive them or not. Depends on S's verdict. The prisoners' behavior and mindset will change in each trial. So, yeah, this whole project was based on Milgram, and after a video is released, the voting of the corresponding prisoners will be opened on the official website and closed after 3 months. So the thing is, like, they made real people actually vote on the prisoners, and that's how they kind of enacted the whole teacher learner situation here. So they kind of enacted the whole thing in a different way. And so if you're really interested in this, you could check them out. And other than that, I've also attached a specific Milgram video that I've been working on. I mean, I've worked on with my friends from VCU on this page. So I've linked it. Oh, I have to change that. So yeah, so let me just give me 1 sec. I'll find the video for a bit and all right, so this is the video. So it's like a VCU project that we all worked on, and I hope that you can hear it. So yeah, this is Ruru, and a lot of people here worked together to create this whole prod. And yeah, so there's S, who's like Rumi. He's like the prison guard character, and it's like a voice acting project that it's like a voice trailer dub thing we worked on, and it was really interesting when I did it. That was like my first major project kind of thing, so it was fun. And this is like what my role was in it. Like, I played a small part. I did one voicing, so yeah, that's a project that we worked on, and it was really fun. So if you want to check it out again, just, I'll drop it on the link so you can check it out later. And oh, it's already 2 a.m. Dang, time flies, doesn't it? It was mostly more fault though. So it's a really interesting connection. So I just wanted to share it with all of you because the Milgram project is a very famous project, and I had no idea. I had literally no clue that this was the whole setting of the whole project, which was really amazing, like interesting, and um, at the time, even when I worked on the whole project, I didn't realize that it had a connection with the whole Milgram experiment. So it's a really nice point there. Point taken. So, well, the next experiment we're going to be talking about, I'm going to rush through a few more experiments because I want to at least cover about 6 topics if I can. So, okay, this is the 6th topic. So, the next experiment. This one is also a bit twisted. This experiment is the Stanford Prison Experiment in 1971. So this experiment actually has a lot of good images. So Stanford Prison Experiment. It's like really recorded and stuff. It was a very big project that they worked on. So they're all college students, by the way, and this person is the psychologist behind the whole experiment. And yeah, so let me just go through that. It's like a true crime, and like it's more of a fake controversy kind of aspect. And like, you know, the story, like student became guards and prisoners, right? The students were made to become guards and prisoners, and the power went to their heads, right? But there's a massive update to the story. The whole thing might have been staged. So, okay. All right. So, I'm sorry, that was off context. And the person who reenacted the whole prison guard situation was Philip Zimbardo. He built a fake prison. The guards became abusive. So he built a fake prison and used students as guards and prisoners. And in the whole story, the guards kind of eventually became abusive, putting bags over prisoners' heads and like forcing them to clean toilets. And the whole project ended in 6 days, right? The whole project ended in 6 days. And this Zimbardo person, like new evidence, like tapes released recently shows Zimbardo's team coaching the gods. Like the most brutal god, nicknamed John Bain, admitted he was just acting like a character from the movie Cool Hand Luke to give the researchers what they wanted. So here, it would have been fine if Zimbardo just let the students do their thing, but and researched that, it would have been fine. But here he acted as an authoritative figure above the guards, and he instructed the guards to act in ways that were not good, and he encouraged them to act that way. And that was the pivotal point in which Zimbardo's whole experiment came breaking down and going off the charts. So here the key takeaway is that the lesson used to be power corrupts. The new lesson is bad science creates fake results. It's a great example of demand characteristics, like when participants fake behavior to please the science. Okay. So they act the way other people ask them to, and they wanted to please the scientists. So that was one of the reasons they acted that way. They acted rude and very against the prisoners. And in 6 days, the whole project came shutting down because it couldn't be continued any further. the prisoners' minds were affected very, very badly. And here I'd say, what do you think the normal ranking tier would be for this? Would it be morally gray? Absolutely not. Cruel and unusual? Nope. Traumatizing? Absolutely yes. It would be traumatizing, and it would be one of the worst things a person could do. And pure evil. Traumatizing or pure evil. Because if it had gone any further than 6 days, I would have said that it's pure evil. But here, I think the days kind of matter, right? They only did it for 6 days, and after they realized that this whole thing was a complete idiocracy, they stopped it. So I think I'll put it in traumatizing. All right? So okay, so let's just cover a few more topics before this thing. So the next topic would be the seventh topic would be the monkey drug trials. All right? So this one is a bit rough. The reason I mainly slash this whole stream on Twitch into the, gore and violence segment is because of this. So in the 60s, like, we didn't know if addiction was a choice or like a disease. All right? So in the people in this experiment, they gave monkeys unlimited access to cocaine. I'm not sure if the cane, okay, I'm just gonna call it cane. So I'm not sure if that would have been a strike, but the monkeys were hooked up to IVs, and like they could press a button to get the cane or the fine or like the vitamins, okay? Just, fill in the brackets. I don't want to mention them too often. So they were just left alone with these supplies, all right? With all these drugs. So like the cane monkeys went into a horror movie spiral, all right? They ignored food and water. Like, they pressed the button thousands of times in a row. They hallucinated so badly that some of them bit off their own fingers in a drug-induced psychosis. So it was so bad. Like, it proved that addiction is a biological hijack. The brain will choose the drug over survival. It changed how we treat addiction, but the animal suffering was off the charts. Well, so yeah. This was one project. I've read a similar documentary before about how rats were fed drugs, and they did two things. One, they placed the rats separately, and they gave them water, normal water, and water mixed with malicious drugs. So in that scenario, the rats actually took more of the drugged water, and but when they were put together in a group, they started drinking the normal water a lot more than the other one. So yeah, that is also there. So it's like it's a bit of an experiment that I looked up a very long time ago, so I can't really remember much of it. But well, in this scenario, I suppose addiction is like it proved that addiction is a biological hijack. So, and it's kind of real. So in that experiment, they proved that loneliness entices you to take drastic measures. But in this scenario, if you start, that's it. Your brain gets hijacked and the whole process goes haywire. So where would we rank this experiment exactly? So the monkey experiment, would it be necessary evil? No. Morally gray? Was it like morally gray? They were animals. I'd say cruel and unusual. I wouldn't say traumatizing because, it was probably traumatizing for the animals, but I'd say cruel and unusual. So, well, the next topic would be, I think I'm gonna end with this one. So it's also, okay, let's skip this one and move to the next one. This, I think it's a nice thing to end with, but the story in question is very, very cruel. And when I say cruel, it's really, really cruel. So this is the case, the name of the experiment was the John Joanne case, and the person in question was David Raymer. So the main focus here is tragedy and identity. And like, this is the story that proved gender isn't just a social construct, it's a tragic life of a boy raised as a girl against his will. So in 1965, a botched circumcision. So I don't really want to get into detail on this, but David Rayner's, I really don't know how to explain this. It's a very twisted thing to do, if you ask me, because so all right, so an incident led to Raymer having a few issues with his genitals, and Dr. John Money, who was a psychologist, he told the parents to raise the boy as a girl. So I'm not going to go into detail in this because I just don't want to. I don't feel comfortable talking about these things much. I mean, I know that I study psychology and stuff, but I get very uncomfortable when I'm exploring topics like these at times. So, and like, they named him Brenda. So the new name given to David Raymer was Brenda. So in 1965, so Dr. Money kind of lied to the world. He claimed that Brenda was a happy, normal girl. But in reality, Brenda was, he wasn't happy. He was depressed, and he was, he couldn't go on any further. He ripping off dresses and like fighting with boys. And Dr. Money forced the twins. Like David was like, he had a twin brother. So Dr. Money asked them to act in This is hard. This is way harder than I thought. Oh my gosh. He forced them to do inappropriate acts. That's all I want to say about this. So if you want to go into detail, you could, read some articles regarding the thing. But he forced them to do inappropriate acts in his office, like to reinforce the gender orientation, like to prove the difference in gender or whatever. So at 14, David found out the truth, and he immediately transitioned back to male. He found out that he was actually a boy, because his whole life he felt uncomfortable being you know like labeled as a girl. But for him, the trauma was too deep. And this isn't just about difference in gender, right? This is a lot more. This has to do a lot more, because the Dr. Mani's acts of unethical acts and the things he did to David is what is the worst situation here. And David, he took his own life when he was 38, and it's like a heartbreaking proof that you can't just override someone's biology. You can't force them to change who they are. So yeah. So I'm just gonna end it here, because I really found this experiment to be one of the worst experiments there is in the whole segment that I was working. I mean, the moment I found this out, I was thinking of avoiding it, but I just really wanted to talk about it because it's one of the worst options here. And after going into it, I felt like it's really uncomfortable to talk about. It's not easy. It's really uncomfortable, and I just don't feel comfortable even talking about it. So imagine what David would have gone through, feeling all those dreadful emotions. And so for this experiment, it's straight up pure evil, no questions asked. Oh, I'm sorry, I think I missed Milgram experiment. So this one is traumatizing, morally gray, nope. Cruel and unusual, nope. Traumatizing. I think this is evil. This is evil, but at the same time, the Milgram experiment was evil, but at the same time, the person in question, the participant has a responsibility in himself, because it just kind of dragged out their true selves. So it's obviously not a morally gray experiment. It's pure evil that doesn't change. But at the end of the day, it's true that the person in question did that act with a sane mind. So yeah. I think I'll be ending the stream here. I mean, I've talked about the whole aspect of things, and it's been 2 hours and 20 minutes, which is okay. Okay, that's good, I guess. Very good. Very good though. So, yeah. I think it was a very, I had fun streaming this and recording it, and it'll be on my YouTube VOD, so you could always check it out later on. And, yeah, well, if you found it interesting, once again, just leave a follow. Comment on anything, comment on what you think about these experiments and how you would rank them. And I'll also be attaching a link down on the description to this specific what do you call tire list. It's on Tire Maker, so you could access them. I'll be sharing it with you. So if you are interested in enacting these, sorry, not enacting, but like working on these tire lists and stuff. If you want to do it with by yourself, you could reuse the tire lists and you know um you could try it out. So I linked it in the description. So yeah, do let me know what you think about this video, because I really need some feedback on stuff and how I can improve my streams and what I can do to give you guys a better experience on things. And if streaming on Twitch is helpful, because I've been streaming on Twitch. I've streamed this whole video on this whole thing on Twitch live session. So I want to know if it's helpful on Twitch. And yeah, I probably will be streaming gaming content later on too. So let's see. Eventually we'll have fun. And yeah, just leave a comment and tell me what you think about the whole stream. Anything you want to share with me, any other stories that you want me to talk about, or any scary experiments that you want me to talk about, or even horror, urban legends. I dive into a lot of psychological and horror topics, so do share with me anything you find interesting and you want me to explore more about. And yeah, so I hope you had fun. And I know this is a very unorthodox stream compared to what a lot of people stream these days, mainly gaming, but unfortunately I can't do that. I mean, I've considered gaming streams, but my laptop can't really run too much power on too much, so you'd have to put up with this for the moment. I am very sorry. Well, anyways, I hope you had fun. And yeah, once again, just subscribe to the channel. If you're on Twitch, follow me on Twitch, because I will be streaming very frequently once again, because I've got a good connection, and a good connection equals good streams. So yeah, so have a great day, I say. Have a nice day. And I hope you had fun. I hope this whole stream was helpful to anyone, because it is kind of an educational stream. So I hope it was helpful for all of you in any ways. So, and I'm really thankful to you for joining in. And I just wanted to thank Grandson and Pixie for joining in and supporting me. I really appreciate that. It's been such a long time since talking to you guys. So if you're actually gonna rewatch this whole thing, thank you very much. And I hope you had fun. And yeah. So I will be dropping the stream now. And thank you. ありがとうございました。じゃあね。I Arashi 40 next.